And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his first look is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 48 yards. A first down throw for Cousins. He's going to wind up in it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way to the opposite 48. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards.
Hey, 626.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. Oh, now he bowls him over. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. Get reset, hey, easy. Yeah, Liz. Hey, 626. Jump out.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Being chased out left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin able to run him down for a 15-yard loss. And it'll be fourth down.
Hey, 626. Zoom, zoom.
Here we go on fourth down with Rodgers. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Let's go. Hey, receiver. Hey, guys.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Lucky 48.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Third and long for Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Mike Daniels coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Green Bay's offense coming out onto the field, and week 2 of the preseason, they were electric. 51 points they put up against the Steelers.
And Aaron Rodgers got his first action of the preseason and led an opening drive for a touchdown, so he felt great. But the activity is behind him. Brett Hundley, his backup last season, he's having a terrific preseason. He played a little bit and did just fine, 6 of 9 throwing the ball. Deshaun Kaiser got his first extended action of the preseason. He was terrific. 7 of 12, 149 yards, 2 touchdown passes.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Danielle Hunter in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Zoom. Jump out. Yeah, live. Look at that.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Danielle Hunter in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
That's fine now. Zoom. Watch it.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Looking deep for Adams. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's J.K. Scott now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Here's Sherrills. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the quarterback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now Cousins, eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
As the Packers make their way back out here on offense, and talk about Mr. Davis's trip to Green Bay. You've been doing the camp visits, and you went up to Green Bay. You had a great time, didn't you?
I certainly did, partner, and I went full fan, full historian, Packers lore. So while I was there, I drove to Vince Lombardi's house and kind of communed there for a little while. And the people who lived there, the same family that bought it from the Lombardi family back in late 1960s, still there, and they're used to this. I went by the Union Hotel where the Packers were formed. I went by St. Norbert's College where the Packers used to do the entire training camp. The only thing I haven't done yet, visited Curly Lambeau's gravesite. That's my next visit.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Go.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Buying time to his left. They'll leave it for Montgomery complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Rodgers to throw on second down. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Rodgers now on first down. Looking deep for Adams. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, 49 yards. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers.
These are into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Hey, 626.
On first down, Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, switching gears for a second, halfway through the preseason, any big takeaways that you've seen so far, Charles?
Now, just a few come to mind. Number one, the roster of 90 that stays that way throughout preseason, I think is a boon for every team because you can practice a little bit better, get a few more things done because you have more bodies, and those guys get to get on tape for 4 preseason games. So I think that's really good. The other part is normal execution, struggle a little bit. Early in the season, guys trying to get it back together. And last but not least, the practice of coming together with another team, 2 joint practices before a preseason game, becoming more and more widespread, and you're getting a lot of really good competition in practice with the best versus the best from each team.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And with a play clock about to expire, Mike McCarthy's going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Over here.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Hey, where are you going?
They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Cook following the penalty. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Hey. We're going. Let's go. I got it.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Two.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Here we go. Bring the energy. Here we go.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Let's just do me. Let's just do me.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty. That was a third and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now, after the false start, they need 8 yards here on third down. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. And now the Packers going to take another timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And with that, they'll take a 1-point lead here in the second. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Crosby puts it through. And they stake claim to the lead here. It's 10-8. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Oh, spin. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Here we go. Three down.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Look at the 86. Jump out.
Rodgers now on first down. Caught left side by Cobb. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47.
Hey, 19. Zoom.
To throw is Rodgers. Throwing on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Zoom. 18.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the 1st down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here is Montgomery on 3rd and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And Crosby puts it through, and it's now 13-8. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That's fielded in the end zone. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty.
Lucky 50. 4 down. Check. 50. Shit. Wait, hot. 2. Black.
Back to the ground. This time Cook. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. They run it again to Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. They find some open field here. He's got daylight. The 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, 97 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Crosby on now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, put points on the board, they've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of it.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Rhino!
On 2nd down, Cook. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing is Cousins, escaping the pressure right. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tremont Williams. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing on 1st down. Rodgers. His throw incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
319! 319! Jump out! Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 319.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Well, there you go. You said someone was going to have to step up, force a turnover. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, now they need to capitalize, get this back to a one-score game. From there, anything can happen.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Now Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. But his pass is intercepted. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Sherrills to return it. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you're looking to plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
Wide.
2nd down, Cousins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth.
On 3rd down, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots at the quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The veteran tight end, Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hold. Gun. That's fine, yeah. Box it.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And Davis has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That's fine, yeah.
Rodgers now on 1st and 10. Going for the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
Excellent.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. As an inside linebacker, got to be a little bit more poised.
No doubt about it, because they get a little bit of flexibility, especially when they're trying to stuff a gap. You know, we get that double A gap look. This time he got too eager and got too deep into the backfield.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.